Hello everybody and welcome to my YouTube channel. For those who don't know me, my name is Victoria and I'm a Tanzanian living in Paris. Following up your questions, I decided to do a video just to talk about the good, the bad, and the useful things you need to know if you would like to major also in fashion. I came to France as a student. I majored in fashion and business. Now joining me today is a Tanzanian stylist who is currently pursuing her studies here in France. She has worked with big houses in Tanzania and internationally, such as Doreen Masika. She has worked with different artists. She has also worked with different pageants, and she is also just going to give her experience and her advice on how it's like to live here in Paris and study as well. In case you're not following her, she goes on Instagram as Swala Msebaha, so make sure you follow her for some good fashion and styling tips. I went to the same school that she is currently attending. If you are interested, it's called International Fashion Academy. I will put the link down below.
Hi Victoria, thank you for having me. My name is Swaha. Nadhani wengi ambao wako Tanzania wananifahamu kama Swaha Msabaha. Nimefanya mambo ya styling. I was a fashion stylist for 5 years, I think. Nimefanya kazi na different artists, beauty pageants, na many other projects. I worked with Swahili Fashion Week. I worked with a few designers, and yeah.
Thank you so much, Swala. So now we're going to go straight into the first question. Why did you choose a fashion degree?
So I chose a fashion degree because as I mentioned, kwamba nilikuwa na background ya fanya kazi in fashion. And then in 2018 I got married and I moved to Paris.
Okay, and congratulations.
Thank you. And then since I was here, I started to, nikaanza kufikiria what I can do, kwa sababu ilikuwa ni transition kutoka nyumbani kuja huku kwa ugenini. And then in 2019, I think, I started thinking about going back to school. And I thought, since I'm here, unajua ndo mji wenyewe wa mitindo, let's say, or fashion.
Of course.
And I thought, yeah, exactly. And I figured that it would be only right that I go pursue my passion.
Okay.
So yeah.
I mean, yes. At the end of the day, you're like, hata mimi before why I decided to come here, it was just because nilikuwa unajua tunatoka nyumbani where mtu anajua design is the only thing they want to study. I mean, that's the only thing they know. And unakuta in fashion kuna so many things than just design. So
absolutely,
unajua hata mimi nilikuwa nataka hiyo upanuzi wa things like what else can I study in fashion that is just not design.
And that's what interested me uliponiomba tufanye hii video, ni kwamba I actually wanted to talk about this kwa sababu najua kuna watu wengi nyumbani ambao hawajui, let's say, hawana uelewa kwamba kwenye fashion sio tu kufanya mambo ya design, kuna so many other things unaweza ukamajor, so many other things ambazo unaweza ukaenda shule ukasoma and you can still work in fashion industry, so yeah. Exactly. Hata mimi nilipotoka nyumbani nilikuwa tuna hii mambo design, lakini nilipofika huku I started exploring, nikakutana na watu tofauti, nikajifunza and so forth. But pia nilipoanza shule, actually nilichukua major ya fashion design.
Okay.
Actually, so nikasoma for 3 months. And then I realized that it's not for me.
Okay.
And that's the thing, because wengi, especially nyumbani, unajua mtu akifikiria fashion anaanza tu kwamba I want to be a stylist, nataka niwe fashion designer, without realizing there are so many other I don't know,
and kuna other choices, or you have so many options, so many métiers, kama wanavyosema France, métier, and so many things.
So many. Exactly. So uzuri chuo ambacho nasoma wako open, kwa mfano kama unataka transition, kubadilisha course, which was really nice of them.
Okay.
Yes.
That's
yes.
Good.
So I looked into my option and then I opted to go for fashion marketing, and that's what I'm studying right now.
Okay. So first of all, you need to find a school. Now, the most important thing is when you're searching for a school, make sure you do your research, because in as much as there are so many schools abroad, there's also bogus schools. Contact students who are already in that school. Like, sometimes it's good to go into their Facebook profile. Usually students have joined there, so you go there, you ask around, what do you think? Because at the end of the day, you want to make sure that it's worth the money. Mind you, I don't know about you, Swala, but as given the fact that we have all gone to the same school, a fashion degree is expensive. I am yet to find a fashion degree that is not expensive. Usually a fashion degree is expensive because it's an investment, and so you need to make sure that you're getting something that is worth your money. Of course, once you have that sorted, then it's time to go to the embassy. Now, the French embassy in Tanzania, they're very nice, and the process usually takes not more than 2 weeks. For those who it's your first time, the French, of course it's the French embassy, so they speak French. Just make sure, most of the forms that you will fill in would be in French, and the ones that they will make you fill at the embassy. So that was also a shock for me, because I thought I was going to go there and with my English I was going to speak English, but just to let you know that there are some documents that you will need to sign at the embassy that they will be in French. So things like your name, your date de naissance, when you were born, your some details about your father, your mother, your address here in France. So just make sure you know the equivalence of that in French, so that when you go there, it's not like a shock for you as it was for me. I don't know about you, Swala. How was the application process for you for the school that we went to, given that you applied from here in Paris?
Okay, so as I mentioned, I was already here in France. Nilivyoanza shule. So my process was pretty much, I wouldn't say like it was pretty much easier, I would say, kwa sababu the only thing I had to do, first I did a school visit. Nilienda kutembelea shule because I wanted to see, you know, it's important. That's actually another thing that's very,
you did that before.
I mean, if you're here, yeah, I mean, if you're here, it's important, I think, kwenda kuona, you know, you want to see the facilities, you want to see how the school is, and, you know, being there in person, it's a different experience than online. So I'm very grateful that I was here and I was able to do that. And secondly, and then after that, after the school visit, nikaanza kufanya, you know, your application, which was just sending a few papers, my school certificate. Yes, the school certificates, they actually require you to have like a A-level education.
Okay, yes, of course, yeah. And also I think some experience as well.
Yeah, that's another thing I'm going to talk about. So yeah, they require you to have like A-level education. Pia wanahitaji uwe na good credits English, kwa sababu shule nasoma mimi chumba tunaenda ni international university. So yeah, that was pretty much it. And then after that, I had like 2 interviews, and then I waited, and of course, thank God I got accepted. So yeah, another thing kama ulivyo mention ni kwamba experience. To be quite honest, I believe that kitu ambacho kimenisaidia sana kuweza kuingia kwenye shule ni experience yangu kwenye mambo ya, yes, that was I believe kwamba ni moja kati ya kitu ambacho kimenisaidia kuweza ku join hichi chuo.
Kwa mfano hata mimi nilipokuwa Tanzania, kabla hata sijaenda shuleni, I mean sijaanza the degree, nili apply randomly to Swahili Fashion Week. At that time they were doing the year thing, the fashion week thing, and I just asked, hey, can I come, can I volunteer? You don't need to pay me, I'm just looking for the experience. And it was for the 3 days, so that already was enough to give me some experience, to see how it is working with the designers, the models, in everything. And najua pia inakupa hata
an idea, exactly,
how it is like with working with the designers. Do you also want to be a designer yourself, or maybe it's something else? So they didn't pay me, but honestly the experience was so enriching, and it was there in Dar. So ikanisaidia. Unajua vitu vidogo sio lazima uende ukafanya sijui na celebrity au sijui na nini.
No, not really. I mean, kuna watu wengi unajua kama unavyosema like you can volunteer kusaidia mtu. If you see someone that especially ambaye anafanya vizuri, let's say, like reach out to them, reach out to them, waambie, just make some initiative kuweza kupata experience ya kitu ambacho kuna interest now. And if you can find opportunities, create them yourself. Like kama mimi I started very that's another story for another day, but ilikuwa ni my own initiatives. Of course I sat down with people ambao tayari walikuwa kwenye ile mambo ya fashion na nini, lakini ni initiatives zangu mwenyewe nilizichukua kwa sababu I looked around and I was like, nikikaa nasubiria hakuna ambaye ataweza kunivusha kufika kule ninapotaka. So I had to take my own initiatives, and yeah, here I am. So that's my biggest advice, kwamba jaribu. Experience is very important. Just do what you can do, and in the long run it's really gonna help you.
Okay, now the golden question: what is the best part about studying in Paris?
Well, there are many things. I would say many things. I mean, it's France, it's Paris.
Of course.
Ambako fashion imezaliwa, let's say.
No. It's the land of the Louis Vuitton and the Dior's and the Chanel.
Exactly. Well, as I said, there are many things, including culture. Your French
yes.
Culture, it's very rich.
Yes,
the architecture, the people. It's just there are so many interesting things. But for me, kikubwa zaidi ambacho I find more interesting the school I go to, kama nilivyosema, ni international school, so I meet people from everywhere. I mean, I knew that before, kwamba I'm gonna meet people from different parts of the world. Okay. But there's literally people from everywhere. I've always been a curious person. Napenda kujifunza. Yeah, like I love learning. I'm very curious. Napenda kujua, okay, umetoka nchi, how is it like there, Yeah, like how you're from this country, kukoje, like I'm very curious. Napenda I don't know how to explain it, but napenda kujifunza. Yeah. So going to school here, I get to meet so many people from so many places, and it's very exciting, very, very exciting. Inakusaidia pia kubadilika, kufungua akili yako na kuona vitu from a different perspectives.
And also another thing I think as well, at that time when I was a student, it was just the fact that yes, the practicality of what you learn, the moment you step out of the classroom, it's there. So kwa mfano tukiwa tunaongea kuhusu designers, or how they do businesses, kuhusu fashion weeks and everything, literally the moment you step out from your classroom, it's there. So you are Paris fashion.
That's another thing I wanted to mention. Exactly. Another biggest thing is that you're surrounded with so much inspiration. Kama unaposema, it's like you learn, unaingia darasani unasoma, and then when you get out, you're surrounded by what you've learned. Kama unaposema designers, it's all there. It's like there's so much. Exactly, there's so much inspiration. Museums, from even the streets, the architecture, everything is just you're surrounded by inspiration everywhere, which is amazing.
So we discussed the good part. Now let's go to the not so good part. So these are like maybe prior regrets or things you wish you knew before you came to France. Is there anything?
Okay, as life in general, I would say kitu ambacho na regret ni kutojifunza lugha. Asikudanganye mtu, they will tell you kwamba you use English and unajua
That was the biggest scam ever. whoever
that's the biggest scam ever, because
kwamba, you speak English, it's gonna be well, don't worry, you'll be the star there.
Exactly. Unajua English will be like to favor you, utapata, unajua watu ambao wanaongea Kiingereza, which is literally not true, because here you have to speak the language. It's different na sisi at home. It's different because there we almost speak Swanglish, let's say. Tuna mix Kiingereza. Tena sana Kiingereza, let's say. Especially kwenye mambo ya kazi. But here it's different. You have to learn the language kwa sababu watu huko wanaongea lugha yao tu. You have to speak French. So
it's important, I say. It's very important.
It's very important.
Hata kile cha kuombea maji. Hata Peter hata cha kuombea maji. It has to be hata cha kuombea maji hakitoshi. Mwanza ukitaka tu kwenda kununua mkate, you just learn. At least you can even
learn
which
the
takes
basics.
about 3 months. And that's it. So while you have applied for you got accepted, say in June, your school won't start all the way until September, October.
Until September.
You have the whole summer to learn a language. Jamani, jifunzeni lugha kabla hujaja kwenye a country which doesn't speak English.
I think it's important just in general kwenda nchi yoyote. Kujifunza, unajua pia kujifunza lugha yao. Now that nimekuja ukaza sasa nimejifunza vitu tofauti. I think it's very important kuweza kuongea the local language.
Of course.
Whether you don't have to, I mean it's still important to be able to speak. Hata wale watu wenyewe, they will appreciate.
Of course. Your friends they will love you if you speak their language.
Exactly. So that's my biggest advice kwa mtu ambaye anataka kuja huku ama nchi yote. Learn the language, at least the basics, to be able to move around.
Thank you so much, Swala, for joining me. It's been a pleasure having you. If you have any questions, you know where to leave them. If you need any information on applying for schools abroad, especially here in Paris, France, don't forget to leave your comment on the comment section or leave it on our Instagram handles. Thank you so much.